So how can you find your life's meaning, your life's purpose? By asking yourself questions. Asking questions like, what do I want to do with my life? Why do I want to do it? How can I do it? And thinking about this and finding meaning in the things that you do. And one of the best examples, one of the best experiments that I have read, or the best story about someone looking for the meaning of life or for the purpose of life is the story of Santiago in The Alchemist. This is one of the best examples and actually one of the best stories that I have read about life's journey or someone's journey through life and how to find your purpose. With that being said, welcome to a new series on the English Zone podcast on The Alchemist by Paulo Coelho. In this series, we will explore the amazing and captivating story of Santiago, a young Andalusian shepherd boy, and his journey to discover or to uncover the secrets of his personal legend. I will explain the meaning of personal legend in this episode. And maybe like Santiago, you will also be able to find your personal legend. In each episode, in each part, I will share a summary of the important events of the story and wisdoms that he learns along the way. And maybe you can also learn or relate to along the way. So this is going to be part one of a series on The Alchemist. The title of the first episode or the first part is Santiago's Journey Begins. And so, let's begin with part one on the English Zone podcast. I'm actually very excited about this new series on the English Zone podcast. I don't know how it's going to go, but just like Santiago, he didn't know or he doesn't know how his life's journey is going to go. But just like Santiago says, it's the possibility of having a dream come true that makes life interesting and exciting. It's the possibility of what's going to happen in the unknown. It's the unknown that makes life exciting and interesting. And so, I don't know how this is going to go, but I'm super excited about what's going to happen. So let's start with Santiago's journey in The Alchemist. In the first part of The Alchemist, Santiago is a shepherd boy in Andalusia, Spain. And the journey begins with his dream. He has a bunch of sheep, and he takes them around the fields and plains of Andalusia, in the country. He became a shepherd because he wanted to travel. And his father told him, if you want to travel, if you want to see new lands, if you want to meet new people, then you should become a shepherd. Even though his father wanted him to become a priest, he didn't stop him from becoming a shepherd. And so he gave him his blessing and said, good luck, son. So he became a shepherd. He went around the countryside. He took care of his sheep. And the story starts with Santiago having this dream. He's troubled and a little bit confused about this recurring dream of a hidden treasure waiting for him somewhere. And he keeps having this dream. So he finally decides, he's like, what is this dream? So he finally decides to go to a dream interpreter, someone to read his dream or explain and interpret what this dream means, So he goes to this old woman. And the old woman tells him that this treasure he keeps dreaming about is actually in Egypt. at the foot of the pyramids of Egypt. So this woman advises him to pursue this dream. She's like, you should go and follow your dream and find your treasure. So now Santiago is even more confused. He doesn't know where Egypt is. It's a faraway land. He has no idea how to get there. So first, he was confused about the dream, and now he's even more confused because he has a clear idea about the dream, but he's like, I'm even more confused now. I don't even know where that is. So he leaves the old woman and he goes to a plaza in the town and just sits down on a bench and thinks about his life's confusion. And all of a sudden, this old man appears and sits next to him. He introduces himself as the King of Salem. And Santiago is really confused at this time, He's thinking about his life, the dream, Egypt. He doesn't want to talk to someone, right? He doesn't want to talk to this guy, but the old man says, "Oh, I know about you and your dream." Santiago is shocked. What? How does this old man know about my life or my dream, So, and then all of a sudden, he says, I can help you how to get there. And he recognizes Santiago's true desire. And he introduces him to the concept of a personal legend. I'll explain a little bit about this old man, but first, what is a personal legend? A personal legend is like, that's explained in the book, or that's mentioned in the book, is a path that leads to a person's destiny, or a person's life purpose, your mission. So this becomes a turning point for Santiago because the old man says, I can tell you about your personal legend. I can tell you your life mission and how to get there, or help you how to get there. So basically that is the meaning of personal legend. Your personal legend is your life mission. It's your life purpose, your life's meaning. So it's kind of like a deep meaning that you have, that something pushes you to follow. And a lot of times we are confused about our personal legend or our life purpose. So we have to continuously experiment. We have to dig deep within ourselves to find our life's meaning. How can you do that? Well, sometimes it's clear and sometimes it's not clear. And the way to figure that out is by asking questions, but also by looking for signs. Looking for certain signs that appear in your life that may indirectly tell you what to do with your life. And we'll get there in a second. I'll explain some things that the old man teaches Santiago. But because this man encourages him to follow his dream, to go and find his treasure, Santiago decides, because now it's becoming more clear to him, because he was very confused, but now the signs are telling him he should do it, He was confused at first. He had a dream, right? And this is kind of like this dream telling him, he should do something with his life. And he's confused. And then he goes to the old woman to try to understand his dream, even though he's more confused now, but he has a more clear idea, or he's getting more signs that he should follow his dream. And then the old man giving him even stronger signs and making it even more clear that he should follow his dream. So Santiago sells his sheep. He sells all of his sheep to help him pay for the journey to Egypt. And this, in the story, in The Alchemist, this marks a crucial decision in his life when he chooses to step out of his comfort zone and embrace uncertainty, deciding to trust his gut, his intuition, and of course all these signs that are pushing him to follow his personal legend. So now he has a new sense of purpose. So he sets out on this transformative journey. He embarks on this transformative, life-changing journey. And this can teach us that sometimes, or actually many times in life, in order to get something, you have to give something. You have to give up something. You have to make a sacrifice. You have to become uncomfortable in order for you to grow and find your deepest purpose in life. Because life goals and life missions require sacrifices. And sometimes these goals will push you to leave your home, to move to a different city, a different country, or to leave your current job, your current situation behind. And for this, you need to step out of your comfort zone and begin your new journey, even if it's not certain, even if it's not clear what's going to happen. If it makes you a little bit scared, but at the same time excited, chances are it might be a good decision. And I want to reflect a little bit on this part in Santiago's journey when he makes this big life decision to follow this path or start this journey to go find this treasure. The treasure really is not something materialistic, or it's not something physical, as we will learn throughout the story what this treasure really is. And it's really, really exciting, but at the same time, like, sad. But I want to talk a little bit about life decisions. You know, a lot of times we have to look for signs. And these signs come sometimes in the form of a person, in the form of a job, in a form of a podcast that you're listening to that is kind of like pushing you, telling you to start the thing that you've always wanted to start. Maybe this is your sign. There's something that the old man tells Santiago, which I think is really, really important. He tells him about omens. What is an omen? O-M-E-N. Omen is a sign, you can call it from the universe, a sign from God. In my religion, in Islam, maybe it's a sign from Allah. And a lot of times, when you don't know what decision to make, you're looking for signs. You're asking God to give you clarity about a decision. And an omen is a sign. Maybe this comes in a form of an opportunity, like I mentioned earlier. Maybe this comes in a form of a person, and Or maybe it comes in a form of a feeling that's pushing you to start something, or that's telling you, ooh, you shouldn't do that. So you really have to be careful with these signs, because sometimes you make a decision without thinking carefully, or you make a decision about something with your emotions, how you're feeling at the moment, without thinking about it, without praying about it, So it's really important to look for omens, or to look for signs and see what the signs are telling you. I'm not talking about the stars. I'm talking about just signs that something is telling you to do something or not to do something. So the old man is giving him this advice. He says, always look for the omens. And there's a powerful quote in the story here, something that the old man tells Santiago. He says, when you want something, all the universe conspires in helping you to achieve it. And like I said, we can translate, or we can interpret the meaning of the universe here as God, right? When you really want something, then you have to pray about it, but God will help you to achieve it. But of course, you have to work hard. You have to look for signs. You have to look for opportunities and not give up on this deep purpose that you have. And eventually, you will find it. And a lot of times, you may not find exactly that. You may find something completely different. But maybe that was your personal legend. Maybe that was your life's meaning. Because a lot of times, we don't know exactly what we want. We continue on our mission, but our life's purpose sometimes makes sense when you look back on your journey. When you look back in the past and all the things that you have done that complete your purpose. So the old man and Santiago, they have a long conversation, and after that, he decides to sell the sheep and start his journey. And he leaves everything behind. After he sells the sheep and decides to follow his personal legend and start this journey to Egypt, he's scared, but at the same time, he's very excited. He jumps on a ship and crosses the sea to Africa. And now he's in Tangier in Morocco. And this concludes part 1 of the story of Santiago in The Alchemist by Paulo Coelho. If you enjoyed this episode, share it with your friends and leave a comment that you liked the episode, or something that you liked about this episode, or something that you learned in this episode. And follow me to make sure that you receive notifications for the future episodes and for second part in this series. Thanks for listening to the English Zone podcast. See you soon.